Love them or hate them, MREs are a storied part of the military experience. The pizza, the chili mac, the desserts. But at some point, many troops have ripped open that brown pouch and thought, who came up with this? Well, we found out who, and we went to the place where they came up with it. Military Times' Sarah Sicard looks into the process of how MRE menu items are created in the first of a two-part series, How the MRE is Born.
You'd be hard-pressed to find a service member who hasn't had at least one experience with meals ready to eat, more commonly known as an MRE. From the beef enchilada to the chili mac, troops are quick to either reminisce fondly or shudder at the thought of them. But what you may not know is that a lot of research goes into creating these meals. An MRE has a tough job. It has to sustain a service member in the field for a full day while staying lightweight, being non-perishable, and tasting like actual food, or troops won't get the calories they need in order to be mission ready. Military Times took a long look at how these meals are made and refined, from taste testing in the kitchen to understanding how every item offers nutritional values. It's how an MRE is born, and for the first part in this series, we talked to one of the experts who designs MREs in the Army's test kitchen in Natick, Massachusetts, to see how the ingredients are cooked up. Ever wonder where the food in your MRE comes from? Let's take a look. Today, I'm joined by Lauren Alexic, who is the team leader for food engineering with the Combat Capabilities Development Command Soldier Center. Hi, Lauren, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
So today I want to talk a little bit about the test kitchen. Do you think you could start off by just telling me a little bit about your background? What does a food engineer do for the average soldier?
Well, I am a food scientist and a food technologist, and I work in the Combat Feeding Division. And our job there is to nourish and sustain warfighters by conducting research and development on military combat rations and field food service equipment. So I'm sure many of your viewers are familiar with the Meal Ready to Eat, or the MRE, but I work with a team of scientists and engineers to develop rations such as the MRE, and also group rations and other special purpose or assault type rations.
Can you sort of walk me through how you go from, concept to final packaged product with an MRE? How they end up with that chili mac or that pizza in hand?
Sure thing. Well, when we develop a ration, we take many things into account. So we obtain warfighter feedback first on rations and annually during field training exercises. And we ask them, what would they like to see? What don't they like in rations? And then, we consider military requirements. And these are things such as the nutritional profile and calories and shelf life. Nutritional profile of each ration is dictated by the Office of the Surgeon General. And then in terms of shelf life, most rations like the MRE have a 3-year shelf life requirement. So, making food last for 3 years without refrigeration is extremely challenging, as you could imagine.
How do you cram, however many days worth of calories into that tiny, pizza MRE, for example?
Contrary to what some people might think about rations, we really don't pack them with preservatives, and we use drying technologies or compression technologies, ways that we can get these wholesome ingredients to be combined and stabilized so that they will last for 3 years without allowing microbial growth. And also the way we package the rations in materials that do not allow permeation of moisture or oxygen, because both of those things are also detrimental to food and will cause spoilage over time. As far as nutrient densification, we very recently started to explore a drying process and a compression process combined that uses microwave energy to very quickly remove the water from food, which reduces the weight of the food. And then we compress it in a way that very instantaneously welds those ingredients together. So by doing that, you don't need to add non-nutritive fillers to get the food to compress together into a very small bar or a cube.
So can you walk me through, sort of the process of creation in the kitchen?
Sure. The food technologists will go out into the pilot plant, which is our large test kitchen area. The first thing they generally do is go into our spice room, and we'll grab all the ingredients they need to mix that up, weigh out their ingredients, and combine the ingredients. Oftentimes, if the product's cooked first, we have various industrial-sized kitchen appliances. So they mix the product. In the case of the buffalo chicken, they'll then pour it into trays. They freeze the product overnight, generally, and that goes into a vacuum microwave dryer. You want to remove the water from the product as quickly as possible in the least detrimental way. So our vacuum microwave dryer has a microwave zone which helps that process move along more quickly. But we dry it to a point that we feel it's still palatable. And then we'll take that and we will package the bars individually and then vacuum seal it. That will remove any residual air inside the package while it seals it. And then from there, we will put it into our storage chambers or go into our sensory lab and our taste testing.
Thanks so much for joining us, Lauren.
Thank you.
So there you have it, fresh from the test kitchen that brings you your favorite or most reviled MRE dishes. But a second part of designing these meals is the science behind them. Next time, we'll talk to the research team that evaluates the physiology of these foods and the steps it takes to test that out.